Hey once again. So today we are here with another video and it is based on how to answer extrapolatory questions. Yes, the questions based on extrapolation. So in the CBSE sample paper, question number 12 is based on extrapolation. So you can go and have a look at the sample paper and there you will find question number 12 based on extrapolation. So you've landed at the right channel, English for all reasons good, which is based on CBSE guidelines and everything is explained as it is required by CBSE. So this is question number 12. Answer any one of the following in 100 to 120 words and the question it is of 5 marks. So there is a choice as it is written any one. So I'll be dealing with both the choices. First, the A part. Natalia and Ivan argued about the ownership of Oxen Meadows and the superiority of their dogs in the play The Proposal. Imagine yourself as the playwright of the play. Based on your understanding of the personality traits of Natalia and Ivan, write a dialogue based on an imaginary event showcasing another argument between them. Or. So, or is the second part of the same question that I'll be dealing later. First, we will discuss the A part. So, now you've understood it is imagine yourself as the playwright. So, you are the author, you are the playwright of the play, and based on your understanding of the personality traits of Natalia and Ivan. So, as you read the play, so based on how the character traits are for both the characters, you have to invent an imaginary dialogue between the two, showcasing another argument between them. So, obviously, you have to switch on your thinking mode and decide what can be the next topic for their argument. So, you have to think, and think. But again, during exams, while you are writing your paper, you won't have so much of time to think. So you have to be quick. So now here, this is what I have decided upon. So Ivan Lemov brings his new expensive car to a halt right in front of the house of Chupkov. It is the time for Natalia to go for her morning walk. So her chauffeur stops at the gate as Lemov's car is blocking the way. So Natalia comes out of her car. So this is the background and after this my dialogues they will begin. So like this you have to create a little background telling that what your dialogues are going to be based on. So in the chapter The Proposal, the two arguments, one argument was based on the ownership of the oxen meadows and the second was superiority of their dogs as it is already written in the question. So now we have to invent another argument. So I have chosen an expensive car as the topic. So now we have to begin with the answer. So like this, first you will write that background. So Ivan Lamov brings his new expensive car to a halt right in front of the house of Chupkov and it is time for Natalia to go for a morning walk. Her chauffeur stops at the gate and Lamov's car is blocking the way. So Natalia comes out of her car. Natalia, morning to you, Ivan Lamov. It seems your new junk has given up. It would be my honor to call my servants to give you a hand in pushing it away from my way. So you look at the sarcastic tone, the tone that is similar in the play that you have read. So she calls the new expensive car of Lemov as junk, and then she very sarcastically but in a sophisticated manner says that it would be her honor to call her servants. Lemov honored Natalia. I just stopped to wish good day to the most friendly neighbor, as you might not enjoy your day after seeing my new princess. It is a cut above in comfort, convenience, and performance than your oldie. So, you must have seen in the play Lemov, he addresses Natalia as honored Natalia. So, I've also used the same way. So, I just stopped to wish good day. So, he is saying, because after seeing his new princess, so Princess here is his expensive car, Natalia's day would not be that good. And then he compares his car with Natalia's car, saying that his is a cut above in comfort, convenience, and performance than your oldie. So Natalia smirks. What? You call my car an oldie? Have you lost it, Ivan Vesselvich? So you must have seen in the chapter that when she is angry or when she is frustrated or irritated at Ivan, at Lemov, so she calls or takes a full name. So this Ivan Vesselvich, this when you take somebody's full name, it shows distance between the two. It's not informal there. So mine is the latest model and brand new, and also the costliest car which I bought only a week ago. Wait. Now I get it. You were too jealous to see my beauty that you wasted your money on this piece of junk. Lemov shrugging his shoulders. Jealous? My foot. Every other fellow in the town is riding the model you own. Mine is exclusive and untouched. Natalia, fuming by now. Untouched? I'll tell you. She goes to his car and scratches on it with a hairpin. Now, take your untouched princess home. So there. Lemov clutches at his heart. Oh, my heart, this is mean and low, shouts. You will have to pay for it. You are a family of envious people. Saying this, he sits in his car and asks his chauffeur to drive. So, this is the dialogue. And now, the things that you have to take care is first is the tone and the words that have been used in the play. So obviously not the same words, but like I have used honored Natalia, how they address each other. Then in brackets, what are the expressions? So these have to be written. There you'll be get marks for these in expressions like shrugging his shoulders, then she smirks, and here fuming by now. So these have to be written because in play these gestures they have to be there to make the character expressive. So this is how you have to write it, and since it is for 5 marks, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 dialogues, and last is to conclude. So that means 6 in totality, and then you have to conclude it. You cannot leave the dialogue abrupt. So like here, I have concluded it by saying this and clutching his heart. So he sits in his car, he threatens, and then he leaves. So it is complete. It is not abrupt. So these things you have to take care of, and this is the marking scheme. So for 5 marks, content is of 3 marks, expression is of 2 marks. So in expression, there will be grammatical accuracy, appropriate words, then spellings, cohesion, connecting of ideas, logical progression. So our dialogue, it was progressing logically, it wasn't abrupt, and grammatically it was correct. And content is of 3 marks. So I have chosen in the content an argument over there, cars. So what does extrapolate? So it is to extend the application of to an unknown situation by assuming that existing trends they will continue or similar methods will be applicable, or to guess or think about what might happen using the information that is already known. So in an easier way, I'll explain what is extrapolate. It means that what information you already know, that is the chapter, the information given in the chapter about the characters, about their tones, and about their quarrelsome nature, you already know that. So based on that, you have to guess, you have to think that if you go beyond that, so if there is an imaginary situation, so how they are going to react. So a similar trend, assuming that existing trends they will continue, or similar methods they will be applicable beyond that. So that is extrapolation. So now the competency that is employed, response or the dialogues, they need to be creatively composed to match the personality of the two characters from the play. So this we have done. Language included, it must correspond to that of an argument and show an understanding of common expressions, exclamations attributed to the characters of the play. So this I told you, expressions and exclamations. So those things in brackets and exclamatory marks, all these things they are important. Then notice marks to be allotted for creation, no marks to be deducted for lack of appropriacy in the form or structure involved in the writing task. Now, in form or structure involved means it has to be in a dialogue form. So suppose you miss writing it in a dialogue form, leaving a line in between or writing Natalia and Lemov. So In that case, it says that do not deduct marks for this. The response is to be treated as a literary creation. So it is to be treated as a complete literary creation. But in expression, there should be logical progression in developing the conversation, response relevance for overall sense. So it should make overall sense. It should not be abrupt according to the situation that is chosen. That means cohesion and coherence should be there, and then accuracy in the use of grammatical structures, vocabulary, and spelling. So all these things will be checked. So this is the part A. Now in part B, read the extracts given below and comment on the difference in the nature of help both the characters of these two stories received. So it is based on two stories. The first one is suddenly I came out of the clouds and saw two straight lines of lights in front of me. It was a runway, an airport. I was safe. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. So, this has been taken from the chapter The Black Aeroplane. The second one, all through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God. The following Sunday, at daybreak, he began to write a letter. It was nothing less than a letter to God. The following Sunday, Lancho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. So, this is from a letter to God. So, what you have to write, you have to comment on the difference in the nature of help both the characters of these two stories received. So, he also received help and he also received help, but there is a difference between the help that they received. So, we have to write that. Now, for writing a difference, we have to write a background first. And since it is a long question, so we can write that. So, let's see how we will write it. So, hope and faith give us the courage to surpass any problem or obstacle in life. When all doors seem to be closed and one finds himself in an unsurmountable situation, it is hope and faith that can bring one out of such situations victoriously. So the pilot of the old Dakota realized that he was in deep trouble. The fuel in his plane was less, and he was surrounded by black stormy clouds which seemed to be endless. His radio signals they were dead, and he had lost his way. Suddenly, he saw a black aeroplane amidst the storm. The pilot of the black aeroplane waved at him to follow him. The narrator followed it like an obedient child and just in time landed on the runway before its fuel could finish. The narrator was happy to be safe and wanted to thank the other pilot for helping him, but he could see no one there. From the control tower, he came to know that he was the only one flying the air in that storm. Flying in the air, in that storm. Now the next paragraph. In the chapter letter to God, Lencho's crop was destroyed by a hailstorm. He didn't have enough money to sow his field again. His family could starve that year, but Lencho had faith in God and it was the only hope for him. He wrote a letter to God asking for 100 pesos to sow his field again and posted it. The postmaster was touched by Lencho's faith and collected money and sent it to Lencho. The money was a little less. Lencho, he was not happy with this and felt that the post office employees were a bunch of crooks. He wrote a complaint letter to God asking for the rest of the money. So we can see that both received help in their difficult times, but the pilot of Dakota plane didn't expect that he would receive this kind of help. On the other hand, Lencho had complete faith that God will send him the money. We can see that the pilot is thankful for the help and wanted to thank the other pilot. On the other hand, Lencho was angry at the post office employees for their dishonesty. So these are the differences, and we began with similarities. Similarities means both of them they were in problems. Obviously the situations they were different, but they were in deep trouble. So here the pilot of the old Dakota, he was not expecting any kind of help, whereas Lencho, this is also a difference. Lencho has complete faith and he was assured that he is going to get help from God. And here After receiving help, he wanted to thank the other person, but he was not able to find that person. And in this case, in Lencho's case, he believed that the post office employees, they were a bunch of crooks because he did not receive the complete amount, and therefore he complains to God again and asks for rest of the money. So again, this is the second answer, and this is how it is to be attempted. Now let's see the marking scheme. So both need help. So we've written that. So he is helped by a stranger in the black aeroplane without any lights. He stared through the dark clouds, and there was no other plane. Was told that there was no other plane, and in the air he was the only one. So he wasn't clear who helped him. It is open to interpretation. So help is not asked for, but he receives it, and he is thankful. So you're required to display understanding of variation of a common aspect across the text. So there is a common aspect in both the texts, that is, they require help. But then there's variation also on the way the help is received by them, and are they grateful in the end or they are not. So you have to support giving a reference from the text. Now, letter to God, the different nature of aid. Lencho writes a letter to God asking for money. His conviction in God touches the postmaster. Postmaster raises money and sends it to him. He asks for help. The source of aid is clearly revealed, but Lencho is not satisfied. So again, you have to apply logical progression using appropriate linking devices, words and phrases of comparison and contrast. So whereas, on the other hand, like we have used on the other hand, as opposed, or as the impact, the expression, then response, relevance, and appropriate conclusion to achieve coherence, accuracy of the use of grammatical structures, vocabulary, and spelling. So paragraphing is recommended. You are not to write it in bulleted form. So this is the second part. So these are the extrapolatory questions, and nowhere you will find solution to these, and the whole writing section and the literature part long questions. I have solved all these questions from the CBSE Sample Paper 2021 for your reference. You can go and check all my videos. I'll be putting the links in the description box. So I have covered question number 8, 9, 12 and 13 of the CBSE Sample Paper 2021. So these are 8 and 9, they are based on the writing section. The writing section is completely changed, so you can go and check it there. Question number 12 and 13 are the long ones, and again the 13 one, that is this video, these are, sorry, the 12th question, that is this video. So that is extrapolatory question, and you won't get anywhere the solution of this question and the way you have to write it. So that's all for today. Do subscribe to my channel if you find it helpful, and give it a thumbs up. Write in the comment box, and in the playlist I have included all my videos for 10th standard, and you can go back and refer to them. Follow me on Instagram, where I'll keep on updating about my next video. Now next video is going to be answers of the chapter of the play The Proposal. So bye for now and happy watching. Thank you very much.